Alright, how's it going, guys? Today we're going to be doing the advanced re-imaging process for the FxBlox Lite, aka the CM4 blocks. First thing we're going to want to do is remove the USB housing by removing all 4 screws. Next, we're going to remove the 4 screws on the bottom of the housing so that we can get the SBC out. After that is done, we're going to connect our blocks to our computer by connecting one side of the USB cable to the USB-C port that's on the side of the blocks, and then the other to our computer. And we're going to short the pins as we're connecting it to power. Here I'm using a metal fork that is conductive, and we can see that we did it right by the 2 lights that are showing, which is the bottom one and the second from the top. Additionally, you should see a solid white light that the blocks is showing. But if you want to make sure that you get it right the first time, you can use a jumper cable to short the pins. Another trick that I used was using the head of a screwdriver. So, like I said, anything conductive, something not aluminum, should be able to short the pins and get the blocks into boot mode. If you are on Windows, you'll click on the link in the docs to download the RPI boot tool to be able to install the drivers and recognize your blocks with your Windows device. Here, if you're like mine, it didn't like the installer, so it asked to see if it was okay. I say yes, and then I agree to the terms and conditions. Regardless, this is a process that takes roughly 20 minutes, so please be patient. For me, I just fast forwarded times 20 so it can go by fast for the purposes of this video, but it should take roughly 20 minutes, so be patient. Next, you'll run the RPI boot tool in administrator mode, and then you should see your blocks be recognized by your computer in just a matter of seconds. If you're on Mac, you'll get the RPI boot tool by downloading the repository first, and then downloading the necessary dependencies. You'll navigate into the USB boot folder. You'll run brew install libusb for the first dependency. If you're not seeing the same output that I'm kind of getting, and you get something similar along the lines of brew command not found, then you'll want to navigate to the brew docs page to install the brew command. Next, you'll install the pkg config dependency and run make. Make is to be able to build the driver and the tool to be able to recognize your blocks. Next, you'll run the RPI boot tool, and then you should see this output when your blocks is successfully connected to your Mac. On Windows or Mac, you'll go ahead and download the latest version of the blocks CM4 firmware, which is 1.54.4. And you'll go ahead and unzip that. Now, if you are on Windows, you'll just go ahead and download the Raspberry Pi imager. This is a pretty standard software installation. Just go ahead, hit next, finish, and then you'll be able to open it up by searching for the Raspberry Pi imager. If you're on Mac, similar process here. Go ahead, click the downloader in docs. This should take roughly a couple seconds again, and then just move the Raspberry Pi imager into the applications folder. Open up your Launchpad and then run the Raspberry Pi imager. Now, whether on Windows or Mac, you'll get to the screen and you'll select the Raspberry Pi 4 as the type of device. You'll scroll down here to choose Use Custom Operating System, and then select the operating system or the image file that you just extracted. And then for storage, you'll be clicking on the blocks device. Here, we don't want to apply any custom OS settings, so we'll hit no. And then yes, we are sure we want to erase everything on it. This is a process that takes roughly an hour or more, but I sped it up for the purposes of this video. Now, doing a reboot of the blocks, you'll wait about 10 minutes, maybe 15, and you should eventually get to the state that you see in the video where you get a flashing cyan light. And this is the state that you'll know that your blocks is ready to set up. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.